Shakur Stevenson did his thing last night. I mean, that was one of the best performances that we've seen from a fighter that doesn't really rely on power. That was IQ, that was athletic ability, that was skill. And to me, I like fighters that are more than just a knockout. Because when you knock people out all the time, it indicates usually that you are probably more reliant on the knockout. And if you don't knock somebody out, you may get frustrated, usually because you're used to knocking people out. And people will have more tendency to favor the knockout instead of favoring the process, the journey. 12 rounds. You know, a lot of people don't want to go 12 rounds, you know what I mean? But the ones who can go 12 rounds, they usually possess more than just knockout power, you know what I mean? So, me personally, I think I tend to favor or will favor a guy that is good, that can punch, but it's not relying upon knockout power. Like Floyd Mayweather, like Pernell Whitaker. You know, those guys that they didn't rely on knockout power because they had it all, right? But my issue is that with the way things are now, people are like, they don't respect people who are built like that. You know, the way that this crazy media is with the pay-per-view era, people want to see action, people want to see knockouts, not really considering the after effects of people who take a lot of head punishment, like in football. Like, how are their lives, you know, after they're done playing or done boxing? So at the end of the day, I feel like a person shouldn't really say anything about how a person fight, because at the end of the day, it's their body. They the ones that's got to deal with what's going to happen after the fact. And back in the day, people didn't say nothing about people who wasn't knockout artists. You know what I'm saying? People fought how they fought, but now people get tore down because they possess more than just knockout power. I don't understand that. Boxing is a sport. Yes, it's entertainment. Yes, the people who make the most money are entertainers. Tank Davis, he's an entertainer. You know what I mean? Because he possessed what the people want to see. They want to see flash. They want to see knockout. They want to see, you know, all of that. And that's fine. I mean, because if you are a boxer that has that ability but can still box, like a Bud Crawford, somebody that can stop you, but if it goes a distance, hey, I'm skilled. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'm going to adjust, you know, to the grind. Whereas fighters such as Mike Tyson, Edgar, Berlanga, those type of guys, if they can't knock you out, then they pretty much done. And that's what happened last night with Berlanga. Was, if you watch the fight, he tried two styles. He tried to fight him, the other guy that beat him, from the outside, but his long jab, Berlanga couldn't get inside, you know, because of that jab. So as the fight turned to more towards the fourth round, you notice he got closer and shortened the distance. But the problem is that the other guy was able to, he's good fighting close too. He was better than Berlanga fighting from a distance, and he was better than Berlanga inside. And once Berlanga saw that he couldn't do anything with him, bro, I knew that the fight was going to be over. Berlanga is a solid fighter, but to me, he didn't possess enough. Like, he didn't really have any advantages. So when you don't have any advantages, you have to rely on feints. You know, you have to kind of be more trickier, you know, more tactical in your attack. And his attack wasn't much of anything once he saw that he couldn't do both of the he couldn't control the distance. So at that point, it was almost like, oh, I'm finna go for the knockout. If I catch you, fine. If I don't, then you're gonna get me. So, but he's a knockout artist. He's not a true boxer. Now, Tank Davis, WBA champion, 30-0 with 28 knockouts, 1 draw. Tank, again, is a skillful knockout artist. I believe he's tricky. However, Tank knows that Shakur Stevenson is very tricky. And I found it funny that he had something to say about berlanga getting knocked out, and he had something to say about Shakur Stevenson in the past whenever Shakur wasn't, giving the performances that I guess his peers didn't respect, or his haters, I should say. So, but this time he didn't say anything about Shakur Stevenson. That lets you know that that guy Tank's attention, because good and so well, if Shakur Stevenson was not impressive like he was against Padley, he said something about Padley, but why he didn't say nothing about this fight? Tank didn't say nothing about the fight because Shakur pulled off a masterclass, and it wasn't nothing to say. Like, he couldn't hate on that, right? He stood in the pocket. He fought like a man. He didn't run. I mean, he was throwing shots. He was precise. I mean, he couldn't say anything about that. But that lets you know that, Tank Davis is aware of Shakur Stevenson, and it makes sense why he really don't want to fight him, because he know that Shakur Stevenson, to me, is a higher caliber a version of Lamont Roach. And we've seen what Lamont Roach did to him, because Lamont Roach is more like a chess, a guy that's playing chess like Shakur. They're smart, and when guys are smart, then you're not going to fall for the traps that Tank set for you. Yes, Tank got some hands. Yeah, he got some power. Yes, he still put hands on Lamont, but Lamont, he ate it. He ate it. You know what I'm saying? He was taking those shots. So that lets me know that if Tank couldn't knock Lamont out, I mean, we've seen Shakur. I'm not saying that Zepada can punch as hard as Tank, but I mean, he was eating a lot of punches too. And I think that Shakur is stronger than what people think. Even though he don't knock you out, but physically he's not a small guy. Tank Davis is a small guy by nature. So I feel like that Tank knows what's up. I think that he knows that Shakur is a big threat to him, and for him to not, give props to what's good and what's not good, because he'll say what's not good. So to me, he should be able to give props to what's good. So I just found it funny that he chose to say something about berlanga, and he didn't say nothing about, the real main event. So I just wanted to, drop, that gem to you guys. I don't know if you guys are peep game on that, but go ahead and like the channel. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of returning, viewers. So, and even for the new viewers, hey, go ahead and like the channel, man. I'm giving it to you consistently. I'm giving it to you real, and you got to respect that. So go ahead and subscribe to the Wine Boss channel. Go ahead and do that so you can be in the loop on the next drop, because I'm definitely coming back. So Wine Boss, once again, holla.